let's finish blocking in our extremes. Okay, so that brings us to frame 12. We'll start with the left forward leg. Let's go ahead and translate that back even more. Then we can grab the scapula control, have that translate back. Then at that point, might want to bring the left leg forward a little bit more here. Head over to the Modify panel and notice we have these custom parameters, so we can use these to adjust the fetlock and hoof roll. So I'll go ahead and take the fetlock roll and just rotate that up a bit more, just to fix the hyperextension in the left leg. Okay, great. Now we can go ahead and move to the right leg, and this should plant. So let's go ahead and Alt-right click, choose Transform to 0, and then we can go ahead and have that translate forward. Okay, great. The scapula we'll want pulled back slightly here. All right, great. For the center of gravity, let's go ahead and select that and have that translate just a little bit higher. Not too much. We're not going to have much change with the control object until we get to the end of the cycle. All right, so that looks good. Let's now go ahead and take care of the pelvic limbs. All right, so we know that the right pelvic limb is starting to fall. So let's go ahead and translate that down a little bit here. And we'll also want the fetlock to rotate up for follow through. Now for the left pelvic limb, we'll want to have that pushed back. And you can see we're getting some flipping. So I might just go ahead and grab the knee control and translate that back first. And then we could go to the leg control and have that translate back. And then also have the fetlock rotate up because of the push off. Beautiful. All right. As far as the pelvis is concerned, we can go ahead and rotate that down to straighten out the spine some more. We'll also do that on frame 11. Okay, great. Now we get to frame 13. So at this point, we could always start with the right pelvic leg. This now needs to come forward some more. And then we could start to roll the fetlock down so that it will start to rotate forward. All right, beautiful. On frame 13, the left pelvic leg, it's at its highest point up, so we can go ahead and translate it up a little bit more, rotate the fetlock higher. Great. So that looks good. The left forward leg, let's go ahead and translate that up. This leaves the floor at this point. We also added a value to the fetlock roll, so let's go ahead and zero that out by right-clicking on our slider. Now we can go ahead and rotate the fetlock back. And there should be some curvature in this limb, so let's go ahead and make sure that exists in the pose. All right, beautiful. Now the left leg is starting to come forward, so what I'll do is go ahead and grab the scapula control on 13 and have that push forward just slightly. Okay, beautiful. Now the right leg, it's nearly underneath the thorax at this point, so let's go ahead and just start to translate that back. It's a bit more forward here. We want to now go to the center of gravity. Let's also grab the legs that are not on the surface, so that's everything except for our right thoracic leg. Let's go ahead and just translate the horse up to extend the right leg out some more. Beautiful. I might go ahead and translate everything down just a little bit more here so that there isn't too much of a pop from 12 to 13. All right, great. We're just about there. So on frame 14, you could always start with the right thoracic leg. We want to translate that back so it's right underneath the body, right underneath the thorax here, and maybe a bit further back. Then at that point, we can go ahead and grab the scapula and go ahead and translate that back. Great. You can see we could also use a pose from the scapula on frame 13, so I'll go ahead and translate it back there. Now the left leg, again, it's starting to move forward, so let's go ahead and bring it forward slightly here. Rotate the fetlock up for follow through. Beautiful. All right. The right pelvic leg needs to come forward. Let's go ahead and have that translate forward. Rotate the fetlock down some more. Beautiful. All right. And then the left pelvic leg, that also needs to start moving forward. And then I'd also rotate the fetlock up just slightly here on 14, again for follow through. And then taking a look at 12 to 13, it almost looks like we can grab the fetlock and rotate it down on 12 a little bit more so we can see the rotation on 13. Great. So that's looking very fluid. I'll grab the center of gravity control. Let's go ahead and take a look. And we'll have that translate up a bit higher here. Great. All right, so that leaves us with our very last extreme pose. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and get right to work. We'll go ahead and grab the right front leg. We'll go ahead and have that translate back some more here. Grab the right scapula and pull that back. Might want to bring the right leg forward a little bit more and then use the fetlock roll just so that there's a major locking on that frame. Okay, great. All right, now going to the left front leg, we'll need to have that push forward here. So on frame 15, let's go ahead and have that happen. You can see the left knee passes the right knee at this point, taking a look at our reference. Then I'll add some rotation, just rotating the fetlock up. Beautiful. Okay, now taking a look at things, you could also see that we'll need to add some movement to our pelvis so we don't have this abrupt change from, I'd say from 12 all the way to 16. So we'll need to make sure we take care of that. But first, let's go ahead and just take care of the legs as we've been doing. So let's go ahead and grab the right pelvic leg, translate that forward, start to have the fetlock rotate forward on 15. Beautiful. So we have this nice transition from 15 to 16. Let's take care of the left pelvic leg. Again, we need to bring that down. And it almost creates a reverse 7 line of action. We'll also want the fetlock to rotate down. So notice we get some very nice follow through in the fetlock when that happens. Beautiful. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the center of gravity. And almost make a slight change where we go ahead and just pull that down just a little bit more. All right, beautiful. It's mainly to, again, remove the locking in the leg. But also, you can see that we get some very nice fluid motion as we scrub through from 12 to 16, so that's good. And then at this point, we can go ahead and work on the last task, really. I mean, we can also add some more movement to the left scapula. I might go ahead and start bringing that forward on 14 and 15. Okay, great. And then we can go to the pelvis control. We want to now have that start rotating up again. Then we can go ahead and have that translate up in the z-axis. Then on frame 14, again, it's the same thing. It's just rotate it up and then translate it up slightly. And then 15, we'll do the same because those back legs are moving forward. Beautiful. So take a look at that. It's very fluid. All right, guess what? We have finished our extremes. So in the next lesson, we will first start a preview just to get an idea of how the animation looks in real time. And then we could start to smooth out the animation and start to finalize. So we're already there.